How is everyone doing today? I wanted to pop on here and hang out with you guys this lovely Saturday. I hope you're having a great time. Wanted to talk about struggles and chat with you guys if you have struggles. What are your struggles? Let's do a little chatty chat. And if you have questions about the raw diet or questions for me or anything like that, feel free to type them up and yeah, we'll talk about your struggles. What are you struggling with today? What's going on? What do you need help with the raw diet? Anything like that. As you guys, hey Richard, awesome to have you in here. Awesome to have everybody in here. Before we start, I also wanted to mention that there is actually less than 24 hours left on the plant-based bundle. The plant-based bundle is $2,200 worth of ebooks, vegan ebooks. So you've got fitness plans in there. We're excited to do Nimai Delgado's at-home fitness program. We're going to start doing that, and I'm going to start doing Anais Zanotti. She has this ab thing that I'm going to do. That's in the bundle. Plant-based Ben has stuff in there. Nate and I were doing Tori Washington's workout plan. That's in the bundle too. My Dips and Dressings book, Nate's Nice Cream book. Chris Kendall has his never before released winter raw food book. There's other raw foodie stuff in there. There's other cooked food stuff. There's also things like, I think it's called the consistency code or something like that, to how to stay consistent with stuff. That's in the book. There's pregnancy stuff. There's baby stuff. There's oh my gosh, mindfulness. There's transition guides if you aren't even vegan and you need help getting to the vegan spot. There's transition guides in there too. So $2,200 worth of stuff for $50. It's only $50. You can find the link in my bio. Just tap the link in my bio and go to the very first link. It'll take you to the bundle. You can scroll down to the bottom where you can see all of the different books in there. There's over 80 ebooks. So lots of content, lots of gold, and definitely check it out. Also, that sale's over Monday at noon Pacific time, and my sale is 60% off. So any of my ebooks are 60% off with code BLACKFRIDAY60. You can find the link for that in my bio as well. So if you're still interested in grabbing my books, that Black Friday special is still going. Let's see, we've got some questions happening. I'm so happy to be live with you guys. I love doing the lives. I'm just finding it so hard to give up cooked food, and then I give myself such a hard time for failing. Oh, this is so true. A lot of people give themselves a hard time for failing, but really, how far do you want to go? We don't need to do the all or none kind of a mindset. I know a lot of people want to go all raw right off the bat and do it 100% perfect, but there's no such thing as 100% perfect, especially when you're starting out. You don't want to fall into that mindset, because the whole perfectionism mindset is like an elastic band, right? You try to be so perfect, it's easy to snap back into your old habits. It's better to go slow and start just crowding out the cooked food with more and more raw food. And I feel like the main reason why people have issues with the cooked food or giving up cooked food is because they're not eating enough. I would say 90 to 95% of the people that I talk to who are dealing with cravings or wanting the cooked food are not eating enough. We go through their chronometer and definitely not, they're eating half the amount of calories that they should be eating. So it's so incredibly important that you make sure that you are getting enough calories. Something that's better than willpower is to eat. If you are feeling like you're having a craving, just eat. Default to the food that you know belongs in the human body, and it's a lot easier to make better choices. If you stay full up during the day, that is also what helps you to make better choices as well, making sure that you are full. So dinner time tends to be the hardest meal of the day for people when dealing with cooked food. Maybe they're cooking food for their family. Maybe they've gone all day without eating. Maybe they ate at noon and now it's 6 or 7 o'clock. They've gone 6 or 7 hours without eating. Of course you're going to have issues with dinner, and that's okay. The whole goal is to learn what is triggering those cravings. So once you learn, you're like, oh, well, I didn't eat for 6 hours, and that's why I'm craving cooked food for dinner. At that point, you can figure out a way to make sure that you eat in between. So right after work, have, some bananas or the rest of your lunch salad or something that you can eat for the drive home, so that while you're doing that, you're not still hungry. You're not constantly thinking about what to have for dinner, or stopping at a fast food place, or throwing that pizza in the oven, or calling for takeout, or what have you, because you will feel more satiated than starving, obviously. And that's going to help you make better decisions when you get home from work and you start making dinner. Another thing that I suggest if you're having issues with dinner is to make your stuff first before you start cooking stuff for others. If you can't make your stuff first, at least pull out slice up some tomatoes or cucumbers or whatever you want to slice up, fruit, whatever. Slice it up and then eat that while you're cooking for others. At least you're giving your body some energy, you're giving your body something healthy and hydrating, and it deters you from wanting to eat the cooked food. Because if you start cooking dinner after you haven't eaten for 7 hours, the dinner's gonna be really enticing. So you gotta have something healthy, something that you can eat. I like to say to make your salad first, because if you're eating raw salads, they're gonna be massive. So you're gonna wanna start eating while you're cooking for others, and then finish the rest of your salad at the dinner table with everyone else. And you can also make your food and share it with your family. I mean, we all know we should be eating more raw foods, more salads, more healthy stuff. So you can actually give that to your family members. Add a little bit of salad to their dish, or add some of the chopped veggies to their stir fry, or whatever you're doing. So I hope that helps you. I really want to talk to you guys about any of the struggles that you are having, and offer a little bit of advice, or whatever. We can just chat, but this is really fun. All about feeling good. Have struggles keeping a good morning routine. Ooh, who invented the snooze button? I know, right? The snooze button. On this one, I would like to say that a successful morning routine begins the night before. So the best way to have the most amazing morning routine is to start the night before. Go to bed early, for one. And I know that's hard. That's going to be the major challenge. It's not the morning routine that's the challenge. It's going to bed early that's the challenge. If you can get to bed early, it's a lot easier to wake up and have your morning routine in the morning, because you're not tired. You've gotten your 8 hours of sleep. So going to bed around 8:30 or 9 is the best to have a successful morning. And so in the night before bed, you can also write down all the things that you need to do tomorrow, your top number one thing that you need to do tomorrow, and then all of the other little things that you need to do. Plan out your meals, what you're gonna have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Write it down, plan it out, write it down, and then go to bed early. If you can go to bed early, then it'll be so much easier to wake up in the morning. When you get up in the morning, you can do your meditation, your gratitude, your affirmations, your visualizations. You can go over your list of the top things you need to do and the meals that you plan to have for the day, and it'll feel so much better. But it happens the night before. So I hope that helps, Richard. We've got, my struggle is being able to eat enough in one sitting, let alone all day. I've always been a small portions type of person. That's a great question. We've been taught to portion control. And because we've been taught to portion control, that's become part of who we are and how we eat, because society has these ideas that we need to portion control. And the only reason we have these ideas is because we're eating the wrong foods. When we move over to eating the right foods, then it's a lot easier to eat bigger amounts, but it's hard because we are used to eating smaller amounts of food. The trick is to slowly start to increase and eat more and more and more as the days go on. Some people can't jump right in and eat the big salads like Nate and I do right off the bat. Some can, but some can't. And if you can't, then I would recommend making the salad and try to eat half of it. Don't dress the whole salad. Maybe split it into 2 containers or 2 salad bowls. Eat half the salad for your lunch. And then if you're able to, you'll have to rearrange your life or figure out how it's going to work into your schedule. But about 20 or 30 minutes later, you could eat the other half of the salad. There have been plenty of times where Nate and I are eating dinner and like they're big salads. So we'll be eating and then halfway through, I just set it aside. And then I'll wait like 20 minutes. Maybe we'll go for a walk around the block and then come home and the salad looks great and I'll finish what's left in the salad. Another tip that helps for people who can't eat big salads or don't want to chew a lot is to do smoothies. You can do smoothies. You can do like vegetable smoothies, like lots of veggies, tomatoes, that kind of thing in your smoothie. You could add a little bit of fat if you're doing a straight greens smoothie, like kind of like a V8 style. You could add a little bit of fat to that to help the absorption from the greens. If you don't want to do salads, again, you could do half a salad. I remember at our retreat that Ted Carr and I did with Nate, he would eat half his salad and then he would dump the rest of the salad into the blender and blend it up and then just drink the rest. So that's an option too. It really depends on where you're at and what you're eating and your schedule and all that kind of stuff. But take your time. Definitely slowly increase as the days go on. And as you increase, your appetite might start to catch up to the amount of food that you're eating. So again, if you're eating early in the morning too, you spreading your meals out longer, like throughout the day, that can really help as well. Because if you're trying to fit, 2,500 calories in a 4-hour window, that's not going to work. You're going to be eating for the whole 4 hours. So for Nate and I, the best day looks like we wake up around 5 o'clock in the morning on the best day. We will wait about 2 hours, like we do our morning power hour. We do a little bit of a workout and then we have our breakfast. So we're eating breakfast around 7:30. And then from there, by the time lunch comes around, we are very hungry. So it's easy to eat a big giant salad at noon-ish, give or take. And then another 5 hours goes by. We eat dinner at around 5. Sometimes we don't want to eat until 6 or 7 o'clock. Sometimes it depends. And then in bed by, ideally, 8:30 or 9. But how life is, right? But that's how our ideal day ends up being. So making sure that you spread it out longer will help a lot with getting more calories in because you can only eat so much, right? So I hope that helps you there. Any other struggles we got here? Let's see. Oh, you guys, it's awesome to come live with you. I love seeing you. Thanks for answering my question. You're very welcome. The weekends are super hard because my husband always wants to pick up takeout. The smell is super hard to resist, plus just the fact that I'm missing out. Usually I'm stressed and want the comfort food. This is definitely a struggle that a lot of people have. What I would say to this, and now before I was with Nate, I had a boyfriend who ate a lot of junk food. He would order pizzas, he had popcorn, he ate burgers, he ate, you name it, he ate it, and we would watch movies and he'd be eating his takeout. He ordered takeout all the time. There was constantly pizza takeout in our house and stuff, but I always ate my raw salads because that's what I wanted for my body. Yes, it smelled good. The thing with the smell is that the majority of the enjoyment of the pizza is the smell. I think it's around 80% of the enjoyment of a meal is the smell. So if any of you know, like if you've been sick with the flu, like a really strong flu, and you lose your, you're eating your soup or whatever and you can't taste it because 80% of the enjoyment comes from the smell of it. So when he would order pizza or he would make cheese bread or he would make something, right, that smelled good, that made the house smell good, I would just sit back and I would go, I just enjoyed 80% of that. It was good, right? And we have this thing where like if something smells good, all of a sudden we feel guilty for wanting it. We feel like we shouldn't like it. We feel all these negative feelings when it comes to the smell, whereas we could step out of that and just enjoy the smell for what it is. Just enjoy the smell for what it is. That's what it is. It's a smell. And I think too, like whenever I'd get into a friend's car who had like a chocolate chip cupcake air freshener in their car, I didn't sit down into the car and be like, where are the cupcakes? I smell cupcakes. I knew it was an air freshener, right? So we didn't connect the air freshener smell with the cupcake because I knew that there weren't cupcakes around, right? In pizza, it's a little different because you know the pizza's there, but you could try, and this takes time to reprogram the mind and try to get used to the idea, but enjoy the pizza smell for what it is. Enjoy the takeout for what it is. Just give it a smell. I know the boys here, Nate's sons, they'll make some really good smelling stuff in the kitchen, but I just smell it and I'm like, the house smells great. And that's all it is. It's just a smell because I prefer to put raw foods in my body. That's how I feel my best. And whenever I do smell those foods, I just take it for what it is. Like at Thanksgiving, for example, or Christmas, you go over to someone's house and it smells like, you know, the traditional smells. That's just what Christmas and Thanksgiving smells like. When I go to the mall, walk through the food court, that's just what the food court smells like. Doesn't mean that there's food there for me to eat. So if you are having issues, if you're stressed out or whatever, the number one thing to do if you are stressed out is to feed your body properly. And a lot of people will say that they're, you know, when they're stressed out, they need this, but you don't need it. What do you actually need when you're stressed out? You need health. You need relaxation. You need to confront your stress or deal with your stress or cope with your stress in that moment. Those emotions that you feel, deal with that without involving the junk food, because the junk food's not going to help the situation. It's not going to fix the problem. It's not going to get rid of your stress. All it is comforting. And there are other things that you can do to comfort yourself. And when you are stressed out like that, you could say, let's pretend it's a stressful day and your husband orders takeout and you're just like, oh, I am so stressed out right now. I am so tired and I deserve to have some of that takeout. Instead of saying that, you can still, express those emotions. You can say, I'm so stressed out right now and I'm so tired, but what I truly deserve, I deserve this. I truly deserve a raw salad. That would make me feel so good. I just really want a raw salad. Then you get up and you make your raw salad. You're gonna feel so much better choosing that raw salad. You're gonna feel empowered after. You're gonna be proud of yourself. You're gonna feel hydrated and happy, and you're gonna feel good about yourself. You're gonna be so happy that you made a healthy choice during that time of stress. It's going to really help. So you have to take a step back. When you're feeling these feelings, really take a step back and look at the root and focus on your goals. They always say focus on your why. Why are you doing this? You actually have to focus on your why. What is the reason that you want to eat healthfully? And when we are stressed out, that is the number one time that we need to be eating healthy. We need to be eating healthy all the time. But when we're stressed, that's when we need to give ourselves the most care. When we're stressed, we typically say we need love, we need self-love, we need to have the pizza, we need to snuggle up and have some wine in the bath. These kinds of things are ingrained in society and ingrained in us because that's what society does and that's what we believe we need to feel comforted. But that's not going to give us the true comfort of where we would like to be in the future, right? The future tomorrows, the future todays. Those are going to be days that you're going to have to live. And if you want to live those todays in a better state, then you have to make those choices right now to have better tomorrows. And thinking of the raw food as being a self-loving action to yourself and really giving yourself those foods instead of having the takeout when you're stressed out is going to help so much. But it really is practice. It's consistency. It's saying no, learning that saying no to the takeout is an act of self-love. So when you're stressed out and you're like, I need to feel comforted, saying no can be an act of comfort. And I know it's hard, trust me, I know, I remember, it smells great, but remember, 80% of the enjoyment is in the smell. So you can still enjoy the smell. You don't have to harm an animal. You don't have to spend money. You don't have to eat junk. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel regret. You don't have to feel any of that. But you can still enjoy the smell for what it is. If that helps, I hope it does. I'm making smoothie is important because I was told to have to know how to pair for proper digestion. Oh, that's a great question. So you're talking food combining. That can be a challenge for a lot of people. However, I don't think that food combining is like, how should I word this? It's not like a hard in stone rule for a lot of people. The only food combining things that I do is I eat my fruit alone, my smoothies by themselves, whatever fruit, I don't care. I just blend whatever. And I eat my fat with my greens and my salads. That's basically all I do. Fruit alone, greens with my salads. And that seems to work really well for me. The thing is that you can play around with different things. If you notice that you have issues when you mix bananas and oranges, then don't mix bananas and oranges for you. I can mix bananas and oranges just fine and I have no problem. I can actually also mix melons and berries just fine. I have no problems with that. But if it's a problem for you, you can experiment, play around with that. If it hurts your digestion or you feel like you have a weird something going on in there, then don't do it for you. It would be a rule for you. You don't have to go to the charts and like figure everything out, because that can prevent people from actually even doing raw. So if I find it interesting that if you can't do something perfect 100%, and you value that perfection, if you can't do it, you fall back on those old beliefs, which have nothing to do with the perfection that you're trying to get. Why would we even fall back to those beliefs? Why wouldn't we just take a step back? Maybe like if you're trying to do fully raw and you can't do fully raw, instead of, forcing yourself to do fully raw, you fall back and eat pizza and junk food, right? But if you're trying so hard to be fully raw, why would you go back to the cooked food? The reason is because you're trying too hard to be fully 100% raw. Instead, you could take a step back and add a cup of quinoa, for example, to your big raw salad. It's not about getting rid of the raw or going fully back to the old. It's trying to make it work as you're transitioning over. So including a small amount of cooked food while you're moving over to raw is completely fine. I know a lot of people will preach that cooked food is poisonous and it's toxic and it's you're gonna die if you eat it. Like, I don't believe that. I think that if a little bit of cooked food in a big raw salad is gonna get you to eat more raw, then do it until you're able to eat all raw, or until that's all you want to eat. It really is up to you. I personally don't eat any cooked food because I don't want it. It doesn't entice me. I don't care for it. It's not interesting. Sure, it smells good, but it's not something that I feel like I want to eat. But that came from 6 years of making consistent choices with raw. I don't need the cooked food, and I haven't needed cooked food for years. Like, I don't think about it. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't care for it. But if that was going to get me to eat raw salads, if I needed just like, half a boiled yam in my raw salad, then I would have done that to be able to incorporate more and more raw food, because it's not about one or the other. It's not about being 100% raw or eating junk food. It's about, let's add more raw foods to our diet. Let's have big salads for dinner with a little bit of cooked food until all we want is the raw salad. And we're able to get enough calories on raw. So it really depends on where you want to go with it. But for proper food combining, really work with what you have and how your body reacts to certain combinations of food. And don't fall into the perfectionist mindset, because that causes way too many problems. Just focus on adding more raw and playing with those combinations. I hope that helps. Salt cravings. Salt is a big one. The thing is that a lot of people will come and they'll say, well, Lissa, raw food is bland. I can't eat the raw food. I need salt. I need this and that. It's not the natural food that's bland. It's that you're overstimulated from the salt. When you give up the salt, it's going to take weeks to months to really get used to the natural flavor of natural foods. Natural foods are not stimulating the way salt, oil, and sugar are. And it's very hard to break free from that. But it takes conviction, it takes consistency, it takes planning, finding raw recipes that you really like. I mean, again, we've got the plant-based bundle. There's lots of raw recipes in there, or you can grab my own recipes. They're 60% off right now until Monday with code BLACKFRIDAY60 if you're still interested in grabbing any of those recipes. Those can help you to eat more raw salads without the salt. So you're looking for the flavor, you're looking for the stimulation, you're looking for that kind of thing that you're used to, and you're not used to it on the natural foods. So you kind of have to bridge the gap and find some really good, really intense, flavorful dressings that will help you to move over to the raw diet. But you really have to you have to look at where you want to go. Is this where you want to go? Do you want to get off salt? Then you need to make those choices today to get off the salt and accept that natural food is not going to be salty food. It just isn't. It's never going to be. And we need to release the salt. Say goodbye. Thankful for, all of the stuff, the enjoying times that you had with the salt. Let it go. Let it go and say goodbye and embrace a new flavor. Really learn to love the flavors of fruits and greens. Learn to love the flavors of raw dressings. Learn to love and fall in love. That's why raw food romance is raw food romance. It's fall in love with real food. Try to embrace the real food and move forward. Look at it as a future. If pizza and donuts and all of the junk that we are used to, what if it was discontinued? What if we could no longer get it? What would we do? We would be left with what's left, right? And I know that food's never going away, but we can accept the fact that it's no longer part of our diet. We can say thank you and release, let it go, and then focus on the new. Focus on how you want to feel. Focus on being empowered. Focus on taking control of your own choices. Focus on your health. Focus on the animals. Focus on the planet. Focus on the real food. And slowly with time, you'll learn to love those foods because you're no longer stimulating yourself. If you want to get off salt, you have to get off salt. If you constantly add salt, then you're constantly going to need salt. So it really is that transition period where you have to release. And it takes a lot of inner work, and it takes a lot of focus on the other stuff and accepting that the raw food is just not going to be salty food. So there's that. Hopefully that helps. Do I like smoothies? Yes, I do. I have smoothies almost every day. I get cold with 100% raw. Why? That's a great question. A lot of people feel cold. The number one reason why people feel cold when they eat raw food is that they are not eating enough. We are we have an internal furnace. So think of a train, right? With a coal stove, for example. If you want the train to go and burn, if it wants to burn fuel, you have to put coal in the train to make it run. That's how our bodies are. In order for them to burn fuel, in turn creating heat in the body, we have to eat. If we are under eating, it doesn't matter if you're raw or vegan or omnivore or whatever you're eating. It doesn't matter. If you are under eating, the number one thing that your body will downregulate is your metabolism. Because you're in starvation mode, basically. You're moving towards the starvation mode where the body is like, okay, we're not getting enough energy in the body, so we need to do something about that. We need to conserve energy. What are we going to do? We're going to shut down the hormones because you can't have a baby during starvation. So the hormones downregulate, the metabolism downregulates because the body is trying to conserve energy to stay alive because you're just not feeding it enough. So if you're, and that when your metabolism is low, you feel cold just because you're not burning. You are a furnace. And in order to burn and have a higher internal temperature, you have to eat. Gotta eat more food. Gotta eat over 2,000 calories. Eat more food. The second thing a lot of people will feel cold when they're eating raw food is that they're eating stuff right out of the fridge. Now, of course, you're gonna be cold. I get cold when I eat ice cream, but it's an ice cream. It's frozen bananas. Of course I'm gonna be cold, right? But a lot of people will eat things like salads or fruits, salad dressings right out of the fridge. And that can actually make us feel cold because we're eating a lot of cold foods. The solution to that is to keep the majority of your fruits and some vegetables that are like fruiting vegetables like cucumbers, bell peppers, tomatoes. All your fruit except your berries can be kept on the counter. Bananas and oranges and apples and pineapples and mangoes, you name it, except berries. Berries should be in the fridge so that they don't go moldy really fast. But all of that should be on the counter. So you're eating room temperature foods. You're not adding cold to your body. You're eating room temperature stuff. And when you take stuff out of the fridge for veggies, like your lettuce, I keep lettuce, carrots, celery, green onions, that kind of stuff in the fridge, stuff that wilts really fast. I'll keep that in the fridge, and then when it's time to eat, or maybe a couple hours before eating, I'll take it out so it has time to get to room temperature. So I'm not eating an ice cold salad. The last thing you want is to have ice cold lettuce with an ice cold cucumber, with an ice cold tomato, ice cold green onions, and an ice cold dressing. Like, it's not appetizing to me, right? And it's gonna make me feel cold. I wouldn't want any of you to eat that, right? It's freezing cold. Like, it's not fun unless it's a really hot day, then obviously you'd wanna have that. But taking things out of the fridge or warming them in a little bit of warm water, like pour some warm water in the sink and throw your veggies in there if you need to, if they've been in the fridge. Bring them down to room temperature and then have room temperature food and make sure you eat enough. Third tip, if you're feeling cold, is to increase your spices. Add cayenne pepper, rosemary, sage, all of those warming. Ginger's a good one, turmeric's a good one. Those are warming spices. They actually help you to warm up. So those are some tips that you can do that can help if you're feeling cold. Otherwise, if you're eating ice cream, that's gonna make you cold no matter what. Get up and do some squats. I dare you. Get up and do like 1 minute of jumping jacks or 100 squats. 100 squats only takes 3-4 minutes. You'll warm up if you do that. I've been on a cooked vegan diet and eat a lot of salad, and I'm bloated constantly and feel stomach pain. I also don't have good digestion. So this is likely because your gut microbiome is out of balance. Likely because, yes, you do eat a lot of salad, but if you're eating a lot of cooked food as well and your gut microbiome isn't tuned to the raw food, it can cause a lot of gas and bloating. Tips for gas and bloating: don't talk while you're eating. Try not to talk while you're eating. That's why Nate and I play chess when we eat, because we're so focused on the game and eating that we don't talk a lot. When you talk a lot, you swallow a lot of air, and that can cause gas and bloating and all sorts of digestive upset. The second thing, do not sit for long hours after eating. This creates the restaurant rock. If you go over to a friend's house and you sit at the table after dinner for hours just chatting about all kinds of stuff, and then you stand up to go home and you're like, oh, like, what? This happens even on a raw diet, even on mono meals. This can happen if you do not move the body after eating. So go for a walk, get up, move around, go wash the dishes, go for a walk, go outside and take 20 minutes and walk. Get the colon moving, get stuff moving, get up and dance, hang out with the family, do that kind of thing instead of sitting and watching Netflix or sitting and chatting around the table. Stand up and chat, right? Move around, walk around. You got to get that going, because it's not always the food that is causing the digestive issues. It's your lifestyle. If you're sitting and sedentary after eating, that's going to cause a lot of gas and bloating as well. So those are 2 really big tips. Make sure you chew your food really well. Take your time chewing. And I know that's gonna take a lot more time when you're doing raw, but taking your time chewing will really break down your food so the good bacteria have less work to do. And constantly add those foods in. Foods that I wanna say irritate, but actually make the issues kind of worse. Like, for example, broccoli or cabbage. Instead of having a whole head of broccoli with your meal, try doing like 1 or 2 little florets instead. Do those more often instead of big amounts once a week or twice a week or whatever. It's better to have 2 little florets of broccoli in your salad every day for the week than having one big chunk of broccoli once or twice a week. The reason is because you need to build that good bacteria, and they need a constant supply of food. Fiber is their food. We don't digest fiber at all. Fiber is not for us. Fiber is for our good bacteria. But if you are eating a lot of cooked food, that fiber has been denatured, and you've got the cleanup crew bacteria in there dealing with that. When you add the fiber in, your bacteria that thrive on raw fiber aren't very strong. So you have to constantly give them that fiber to help them grow. Taking probiotics, taking digestive enzymes can help, and don't drink water during your meals. Drink water between meals, first thing in the morning. Those are the best times to drink water. If you're drinking water with meals, it's going to dilute your stomach juices and stuff, and it's going to cause a little bit more digestive upset. So I hope that helps with the digestion. Would you recommend smoothies? Yes. Smoothies. I think that whole fruit is the most ideal, however, because the fiber is pure and perfect, right? You're just chopping it up and eating it. When you blend it in the blender, you are breaking up that fiber slightly. But if smoothies are easier for you to do, then do the smoothies. I do smoothies. I don't think they're bad. They're just not whole, right? I do love the whole fruit. I have a whole banana right here sitting. This, by the way, is ripe. This is what your bananas should look like. And this is what they should look like, even worse than this, even more ripe than this for nice cream. If you're gonna make nice cream, you want it to be even darker. You want the spots to be bigger, you want them to be darker. But this is perfect ripeness for eating, just eating. I had a whole bunch while I was doing my work tank for the Course Creator Academy this morning. Every Saturday, we all get together and we do work on whatever we need to work on. I was working on a free ebook that Ted and I are going to be releasing. And speaking of that, I'm just going to take a little sidetrack here. Thursday, December 3rd, is my birthday. I'm going to be 41. And as my birthday gift to you is to go live with Ted. We are going to teach you how to start building your online vegan business. The reason why I want to do this on my birthday is, for one, I love going live with people. And if I wasn't going to do this, I was just going to do the same thing I do every night instead. So I'm really excited for this birthday party class that Ted and I are going to be teaching. December 3rd at 5 p.m. Pacific, we're going to be doing that. Watch my stories and my posts. I'll be sharing the link to sign up for that class. We're going to be teaching again about vegan online business stuff, because my birthday wish is to help more people. And I can only help so many people. If I can help you help people, then we can all help more people. My whole passion, my whole reason for being here is to help people and to help change the world, help motivate you to eat properly and to change your belief system around money, around the earth, around your diet, around you. You are incredibly powerful. And I believe that there's so much within you to help other people. And I want to be able to help you help other people. So what would be the best birthday gift is for other people to help people. And if I can help you help people, then happy birthday to me, right? So if you want to join us, that'll be on December 3rd at 5 p.m. Pacific. There will be links being shared. It's for the Course Creator Academy, so we're going to be talking about the Academy in there, but we're going to give you so much value that you'll be able to implement so much of that on your own, but we are here to help you if you want further help with the little nitty-gritty details and stuff. So that's happening Thursday night for my birthday. I hope you can come. Please do, because we're going to be celebrating a little bit of my birthday in the beginning. So that's going to be so much fun. It would be hard to convince my kids to just enjoy the smell. Any ideas for them? Definitely work on adding more raw food to the kids' cooked food. So if, say, for example, you're making stir fry. I make Nate's son Jacob stir fry sometimes, and I use my raw vegetables in his stir fry. So all it really is the same sauce that I use for my salad, I use hemp teriyaki, for example. It's just hemp seeds, dates, garlic. That's pretty much it. But you can make some delicious raw dressings and you can throw them in with their noodles and their veggies. So they're getting a lot of raw or healthy options and they still get to enjoy a cooked warm meal. Or you could do something like a salad with maybe their favorite potato in the salad, right? Try to combine the raw with the cooked so it's a little bit less of a drastic change for them. Because if they're used to eating cooked foods, then, I mean, we all know it's hard to get off the cooked food. So expecting the kids who may have grown up eating the cooked foods, that's going to be a little bit more difficult to switch them over, but crowd out the cooked. Still give it to them, but add more raw food to the meal so that the cooked food is more like a condiment or like an extra kind of thing. So the focus is on the raw food, but then there's a little bit of the cooked food in there too. 4 kids whining for junk food plus hubby eating it. That sucks. All I can really say further on this would be to be the example. Really focus on yourself. And I know you want your kids and your husband to eat properly, but it's really change starts with you. If you can make the change and if you can be consistent with it, they are going to see that. I have so many family members that now include more raw food that I never thought would ever do that. But they've been watching my stories and they've been watching my posts for years and years, and sometimes it takes years. But do you want to follow along with them eating the cooked food and the junk? Or do you want to follow your own path and make your own way and find your own health? I know it sucks to see them doing that, but you need to be the leader. You need to take charge and you need to be the example, the loving, caring, beautiful example that you are. And hopefully with time, they see your compassion and they see your consistency and they see your health and they see how happy you are with the choices that you're making. And they will in turn make their own choices, whether that be to stick with what they're doing or to follow in your footsteps. And hopefully it's to follow in your footsteps and to include more raw food. So hopefully that helps. It's so hard. I can't deal with the emotional stuff, so I use food to numb myself. Definitely. I know that happens with a lot of people. It happened to me as well. The emotional stuff is very difficult to deal with, but we need to empower ourselves, be strong, and know that in those states of emotional turmoil, we need to care for ourselves. Go do a skin facial or take a nap, call a friend. Make sure you eat first, because if you don't eat and then you go call a friend, you're going to be hungry after and the cravings are going to be big. So have a smoothie and then go call a friend. Have a smoothie and then go take a bath. Have a smoothie and then do a facial. Have a smoothie and then go for a walk. Have a smoothie and then deal with whatever emotions that you have. Make sure that you feed yourself properly so that you can deal with those emotions properly. I have some Lava Love CBD oil right here, Joy and Serenity. These I use when I'm dealing with stressful situations. Now, I might look like I have like this epic, amazing life, and I do. I totally do. I love my life to no end, but I do a lot. I do a lot, and I deal with stuff like everyone else does. Taxes, for one. I'm dealing with so many taxes. I'm still waiting for my green card, and there's all kinds of things I got to do for that. And, you know, there's stresses in life, and things happen, and relationships might break down. You might feel sadness here and there. So the CBD oil really helps me with that, and the raw food. I have to give myself raw food. Otherwise, I don't know where I would be. I would be more overweight. I would have more acne. My joints would probably be so incredibly painful. I wouldn't be getting my period. I'd have severe cramps. I would definitely have a lot of brain fog and candida issues and all of that. Like, that's not worth it to me. I want to treat my body with respect and give myself those foods. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing around me. I have to focus on myself, because if I focus on myself, I become the leader and I become the example to everyone else around me. Whether they change or not is their realm of reality, but I need to change for myself. So hopefully that helps for you. When we're stressing and need nutrition the most, it's hard to change your mindset for the better. That's so true. It is difficult, but it takes practice as well. It's not going to be easy right off the bat. You're not going to be like super stressed out and be like, oh, well, I'm going to have a raw salad. It's going to make me feel better. It's not going to be like that right away. It takes time and it takes practice. We have to constantly practice making these choices so they become new habits. Because right now your habit is stressed out and tired, junk food. That's the habit currently. The new habit needs to be stressed out, raw food. That's going to make me feel so much better because we know it is. We know it is, right? You're going to feel empowered and all of those things I went through. But we need to reprogram that new habit pathway, and that takes time. It takes practice. It takes patience. So when you are feeling stressed out, just take a step back and ask yourself what you truly want for yourself and try to create those new habit pathways. Let's see what else we got here. Mold, sickness, and Lyme. My friend, actually, Lava Love USA is her Instagram. She has Lyme. And if you have any questions about Lyme or Candida, she is definitely a great resource. Lava Love USA. If you have Lyme issues or Candida issues, she's been dealing with it for a very long time. She thinks that my version of raw is very sustainable, but when you have Lyme or when you have an imbalance, there are certain things that you can do. I would definitely reach out to her. She does coaching for Lyme and mold issues and Candida stuff. Definitely a great resource. I highly recommend you go chat with her. Let's see. What do we have here? Is raw food alkaline? Well, raw food for the majority is alkaline forming in the body. There are some raw foods that are acid forming, but overall it's alkaline. So I personally consider a raw food diet high in greens and sprouts to be an alkaline diet. I don't follow any of the charts or anything like that. I just eat a lot of fruit and I eat a lot of greens and sprouts and I eat a lot of food. I don't focus on all the little nitty-gritty little details because that overwhelms me. It makes me feel like I can't be perfect, and that's not where I want to be. I want to just be sustainable. I want to be able to eat. I want to be able to enjoy my food. I want to have the flavors, the spices, the deliciousness without the salt and oil and sugar. But I don't want to focus on all the little nitty-gritties, like what food is more alkaline than this, and trying to like scientifically like plan out the meal perfect so you're getting, 27 milligrams of iron exactly every single day. I don't focus on that because it would drive me crazy. And I know it drives a lot of people crazy. I track my calories just to make sure I'm getting an average of good stuff. I make sure that I'm eating a good amount of calories. And again, I eat mostly fruit and I would say I was like half and half, like fruit in the morning and fruit for snacks, salads for lunch and dinner. That's basically my day. It's pretty simple. Raw tropical living. Oh my gosh. Jack is so awesome. Yes, this t-shirt actually is from Jack, Raw Tropical Living. It says, vegan for everything, animals, planet, health. This is like my favorite t-shirt. I wear it all the time. And it's from Jack, Raw Tropical Living. Definitely check him out. He's awesome. What do you do when it's cold? I wear hoodies. I do jumping jacks. I don't eat food right out of the fridge. I try to keep all my food at room temperature. Again, we went over this a little bit in the beginning, but I do have a playlist on YouTube for raw in the winter. So if you're having issues with raw food in the winter, I have a whole playlist with 10 videos up there, each one dealing with a different topic. So I would highly recommend checking that out. The link for my YouTube is in my bio. I'm living in the UK and it's freezing. I eat mainly raw during spring and summer. During the winter, it's freezing cold. I don't like the word deprive. I don't feel deprived at all. I don't live in the box of restriction. I don't live in deprivation. I don't live in any of that. I can eat whatever I want. I choose raw food though, because that's how I feel my best. I did raw vegan diet for the first 5 years of my raw diet. I did in Canada, in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And a lot of time during the winter, it's like Celsius, it's minus 47, which would be about the same Fahrenheit. You know, it's the temperature ranges between like minus 25 to minus 40, give or take. It depends. And it's winter almost all the time. Like it stops snowing around mid-May, end of April, mid-May, and then it starts snowing again beginning of October, depending on the year. It's different every year, but for the most part we live in the snow up in Canada. And I managed to do raw 5 years in a row straight. I didn't eat any cooked food. I didn't need any cooked food, but again, like I mentioned, I wasn't eating food right out of the fridge. I didn't do a lot of ice cream. I eat an ice cream now and it's cold outside, but I know I'm gonna get cold when I eat ice cream. It's just, that's how it is, right? So you can bundle up, have a snuggle with the kitties. I'll snuggle by the fire, or I'll get up and do some jumping jacks, that kind of thing. But make sure you eat enough, because when you're not eating enough, then you're not burning enough. Warm dishes. Yes, actually Nate and I warmed up our marinara, because we had it in the fridge left over from Thanksgiving, and we just put it into bowls, or you could put it on the tray and just throw it in the dehydrator, let it warm up in the dehydrator to sun warm temperatures. That's really all it is, right? Sun warm temperatures. And then we pulled it out, put it on cucumber noodles. We had the cucumbers in the dehydrator just for about 15 minutes, just to take the edge off from the fridge. And we had a great lunch. It was so delicious. We'll probably have the same thing for dinner. I love hot food too. So I learned to make lots of vegan soups. I eat raw in the morning and eat soups in the afternoon. She intermittent fasts. I personally don't intermittent fast. I think it's a glorified way of saying I skip breakfast. But this is just my opinion. I don't like the idea of intermittent fasting, but I love the idea of including more raw food. Really, it's really where you want to go. It's totally up to you. You're in charge of your life. If that's working for you, then cool, totally awesome. I love raw soups and stews and chilies. The easiest way to do this is, if you're gonna have chunky ingredients in your soup or stew or chili, chop them up, throw in a little spices, and put them in the dehydrator for about an hour. Let them dry slightly, and then when you're ready for your meal, you blend up a sauce, your sauce base, whatever soup base you're gonna have. I have recipes in my meal plans and my dips and dressings book. Even in the winter book, there's a couple soup recipes where you make the base of the soup, just blend it for 2 minutes in a high-speed blender, and it warms up. And then you just pour that on your dehydrated veggies, and you've got yourself a soup or stew. Delicious, so awesome. So if you're feeling like you need that soup or comfort soupy warmness, then you can do it that way and still be raw. That's an option as well. I'm glad to hear you're on a healing journey. Oh, she's messaging each other. That's awesome, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. How often should you eat? Eat when you are hungry. And eat, I don't want to say eat when you're not hungry, but eat in preparation for hunger, like snacks, for example. Eat in the morning. Wake up and have your smoothie. You don't start a road trip on an empty tank. You need to fuel up. So fill yourself up. I get the majority of my calories first thing in the morning. I aim for 800 to 1,000 calories between breakfast and morning snacks. So that looks like a big giant banana smoothie, 5 bananas, 5 dates, some berries, maple syrup maybe, or I make my 5 banana, 5 dates, cacao, maple smoothie in the morning. I try to get that's like 800 calories just there in that smoothie. And then after my smoothie, maybe about an hour later, I'll have like 2 apples or some more bananas. Maybe there's some grapes that we have in the fridge. I'll eat those. So that will be my morning snack. And then lunch is my big salad, snack on fruit after if I feel like it, and then have my dinner. So that's typically my day. That's what I do. Let's see. Can you kindly post some proven case studies that pink Himalayan salt or Celtic salt is bad for the body? It's been proven to have minerals and plenty of benefits. Would love to hear your sources. So I'm not anti-salt. I don't know where anyone heard that. I limit my salt, but I'm not anti-salt. The thing is with salt is actual salt is inorganic. Salt in natural fruits and veggies like celery, for example, is very high in natural sodium. That's an organic version of sodium. So that's the difference between the salt and the actual plant source of the sodium. I still use a small amount in the form of coconut aminos and miso. I'm not anti-salt because I've gone long periods without salt and I have low blood pressure naturally, so I feel like a little light, no matter how much I eat, I feel a little lightheaded. Just adding like we're talking 1/8 of a teaspoon is what I add to my dressings if I'm feeling like I'm having low blood pressure symptoms. I'll do that. I haven't for a really long time, but that's, I think, because I still use coconut aminos and miso paste, which have the natural sodium in it, not salt. So I have used salt in the past, like I'll use a pinch here and there. It's not very often, but I'm not anti-salt. I don't like eliminate it completely. I think that it can have its benefits, but it's the excess. It's the excess and the overabundance of salt in our diet, in the canned foods, in the processed foods, in the restaurant foods, in the takeout foods, in our own foods that we make and we add salt to it. There's way, way too much salt in our diet. So when you lower it down to a more appropriate amount or eliminate it depending on where you are, depending on what you want to heal. I am not anti-salt. I prefer people to eat the lowest amount possible. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Teas will keep you warm. That's a great option too. Yeah, if you're feeling cold, you want something cozy, just have some warm water or make some tea. It's not the end of the world. The thing is, people feel like they need to be 100% raw and they can't have tea. It's like, tea's not that bad. If you don't want to have the tea, then don't have it. If you feel the tea will help you eat more raw food, then include it. It's okay to play around with different things until you feel like you can release it or you don't want it anymore or it's not jiving with your lifestyle. Totally cool. But if it helps you to eat more raw food, then have the tea. It's not the end of the world. Don't want you guys to be in the perfectionist mindset because it's not that great. I eat an ice cream and then go on the rebounder. That's great. That's awesome. I put a hot water bottle on my lap. Ooh, when you're eating an ice cream, that's a great idea. Thank you for sharing those ideas, you guys. This is great. My husband hates me because I lose weight. If that's your question, I would highly recommend eating more. If you're underweight, eat more food. Make sure you're getting enough calories, because if you're not getting enough calories, that means you're not getting enough nutrition and you're gonna find more issues than just weight loss down the road. So yeah, and build some muscle, eat more calories, get that nutrition in. Let's see. Do you finish the chess game before you get up after your meal? This is a good question. Actually, most of the time, we don't end up finishing the game. It's not about who wins or loses. Sometimes we'll finish the game if it's like a really intense one and it's a really good game. We'll finish it, but most of the time, once we finish eating, we just forfeit the game and we reset the pieces and then move on, right? We don't always have to finish our game. We just say good game and then move on. It's just a way to focus, and we get to spend quality time together when we play chess and not talk, because we don't want to talk a lot while we're eating. Could you please explain how the fiber gets denatured? Honest question. Yeah, so really it's when you cook or freeze food. I know when you freeze cauliflower, it bursts, like the water in it freezes and like expands and blows up the fiber wall. That's why when you thaw cauliflower after it's been frozen, it's all mushy, because the fiber has been like broken, I guess to say. So it's a lot more mushy, it's easier to eat. But the bacteria prefer the raw fiber. So when you blend, that denatures it slightly, not a lot, but when you cook, and it depends on how you cook it, like stewing is gonna like really, I mean, you know, the mushy broccoli, there's like no fiber left in there. So it really depends on your cooking method. It depends on the blending method. There's gonna be different levels of denature happening. The best is just to include as much raw as possible. That's really the goal. Include as much raw food as you possibly can. If you're going to have a little bit of cooked food, crowd it out with the raw. Have more raw than cooked. And then have even more raw with just a little bit of cooked, right? Until all you want is raw. But it's wherever you want to go. Remember, fiber is so amazing. You have a good heart. Oh, thank you, darling. I try. So yeah, the birthday party, Course Creator Academy little lesson that we're going to be teaching is going to be on December 3rd, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Watch my posts. I'll be sharing where to click to go sign up for that. I think Ted's got it all made up. We're going to be sharing starting either today or maybe Monday. We'll be sharing those links on how to sign up to join us for my birthday party. We're going to be teaching about vegan business and how to grow your audience and how to help more people. So that's what we're going to be talking about on my birthday. It's going to be great. What are some interesting things you juice? Or I don't juice. I actually don't have a juicer. We don't have a juicer. I haven't juiced. I will have juice rare occasions. Like sometimes I'll juice orange juice, but I don't even remember the last time I had orange juice, like maybe 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. I don't even remember. Or if I'm at a raw restaurant and they have a juice blend, or if I'm out doing errands and I need to stop at the juice bar and grab something because I know I'm not going to be home for like 3 hours, I'll grab a juice in that instance. But aside from that, we don't do juicing here. There's no juicer. It's just smoothies or salads, really, or whole fruit. That's what we do. The reason why I don't do juices is because there's no fiber, or very, very, very little fiber. And I'm a big, huge, gigantic fan of fiber, as you can tell. So I don't do the juices for the most part. I would say like less than 0.5% of all the foods that I eat is a juice. So yeah. Let's see. How long did it take to get candida gone? Ooh, great question. Yeah, the candida, I suffered from candida, systemic candida, for 15 years. Since I was probably 18, 19, that's when I was diagnosed by my naturopath with severe candida. I did a candida cleanse where I was doing like a really low carb, meat-based diet, no sugar. I was doing the yeast bentonite, the bentonite clay caprylic acid probiotic thing or whatever. It was called Yeast Buster Kit. I don't know if they still sell it, but I did that for 9 months, like when I was like 20-ish. So like 20 years ago. I did that and it helped, but I was on a severely restricted diet and I was not necessarily enjoying it. It was very like chicken and broccoli. That's all I ate. Like it was just not good. It kept the symptoms at bay, but then what was I going to do after? What did I do after that? I would try, I've tried all kinds of stuff. I've done candida kits and cleanses, and I used to fast in the past. It didn't work. It really messed up my metabolism back in the day. I did the master cleanse quite a few times. I did juice fasts, water fasts. Back in the day, this was before I went raw. I was doing all that kind of stuff because I worked in the natural health industry, so I was exposed to a lot of different things. I did, like I said, cleanse kits and all that kind of stuff. Never got rid of my candida until I went low-fat, raw vegan. It was the low-fat that I believe helped me. I just wasn't eating the fat. The fat prevents the sugar from getting into your cells. So if it's not getting your cells, what's it doing? It's sitting in your bloodstream, feeding your yeast. So getting the fat low is going to be key to dealing with that. Increasing your probiotics, making sure that you eat a lot of low glycemic foods, like a lot of greens, sprouts, berries, until you feel like you can add the higher glycemic fruits in. But that's definitely more of a one-on-one coaching kind of thing, working with practitioner. But that's how I dealt with my candida. I did probiotics like randomly, not consistently, but it was the raw diet. And after about, I don't even really know like when around, I was like, oh my God, my candida's gone. Like I didn't notice. It's not something that I was like tracking or noticing, but I would say give or take around the 4-month mark of being raw vegan. That's when I kind of was like, oh, okay, I noticed this. I used to get yeast infections and bladder infections every 2 months before I went raw, When I went raw, then suddenly they disappeared and I wasn't getting these bladder infections. And I haven't had a bladder infection in 6 years. I haven't had a yeast infection in 6 years. I haven't had anything like that in 6 years since being raw, but I eat low fat. I eat a lot of fruit and a lot of greens, like lots of greens and lots of sprouts. Hope that helps. Made it to 25 days raw. Woo! Awesome. You asked me why I was falling off a month ago, and it forced me to think about it, answer my own questions, and formulate a plan. Yes, I am so proud of you. That is so awesome. Thank you for sharing that. We really need to look inside. We can ask all these kinds of questions and stuff, but we really need to look inside ourselves. We know what we shouldn't eat. We know what we should eat. We know what makes us feel good. We know what we think makes us feel good. We know what our goals are. We know what we want to feel when we reach our goals, right? We really have to look inward and ask ourselves truly, what is the ultimate goal? What do I want from my life? Do I want health? Then I got to choose health. If you want health, you have to choose health. You can't make exceptions and then hope to have health. You have to choose it if you want it. I'm in the UK too. Put on warm clothes, invest in thermals. Oh yeah, that's great. Healing, cuddle, drink warm water, leave your fruit on the counter. That's great. Awesome, you guys. So awesome. Your advice on eating enough is spot on. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, definitely important to eat enough. How can you heat veggies and not kill nutrients? You don't. You eat them raw. Like vitamin C is destroyed in the heat process. If you want, the best alternative that I feel for cooking is marinating your veggies. Throw them in a little bit of marinade with some lemon juice, maybe a little coconut aminos if you want. Throw some garlic in there and spices, and just let them sit in the dehydrator if you want, or in a sunny spot, and then let them marinate. And mushrooms is a great one for this because they get soft and they almost feel like they have a sauteed texture if you warm them in the sun or in your dehydrator. So it's a great way to transition. I have my ramen recipe that is a dehydrator recipe that is so good. It's definitely a good one if you're transitioning and you need that. I mean, I eat it and I'm not transitioning, but yeah, it's a great one to help if you're dealing with that. Let's see. A stray project. If your battery died, you can rewatch. I did answer the alkalinity question. Raw foods are mostly alkaline. No need to really focus on that too much. Can we discuss candida? We did. I hope that helped you. My man doesn't like raw. If your man doesn't like raw, then eat raw yourself. If he doesn't like it, he's going to be on his own journey. You are on your journey and you are important. You deserve awesome health and you can choose raw. It's totally okay for you to choose raw. If that's what you want, then you should be okay to choose it. He might not be on the same wavelength as you right now. He might change in the future. You never know. You'd be surprised if you're consistent with your choices and you are the example. A lot of people follow along. You'd be surprised. Let's see. Jack, I highly recommend eating nice cream in the bathtub. Ooh, that's a great place for nice cream because you're all warm and cozy and you got a bowl of nice cream. That's a great idea. You guys are awesome. Do you add hemp seeds and chia seeds to all your smoothies? No, I don't. Actually, I don't add any fat to my smoothies. I use the chia seeds and the hemp seeds with my dressings. So they go on my salads, in my salad dressings. They belong with my greens. My smoothies are fruit only. Fruit only, unless I'm adding like cacao powder to my malt smoothie. That's about it. Don't add any fats at all to my smoothies. Let's see. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. Thank you very much. I love being a Sagittarius. It's nice that you play chess instead of watching videos or cartoons or something. Yeah, it's great. And also it's such a connected act. Like it's so fun to play, and it's really good for the mind. It's like mind exercise. So we need to do mind exercise as well as everything else that we need to do in our lives, right? Might as well play that while we're eating. So chess is definitely awesome. Let's see, what else do we got here going on? In your raw journey, have you also tried herbs as well? I have not. I believe herbs are great, but I haven't needed them. They're not necessary. I worked in the natural health industry for over a decade, and I've seen all the herbs. I know what the majority of them do, what they're used for, and I used to consult people on what herbs to take. So I've been in that world, and I've taken a lot of stuff in my day. Nothing has come close to just eating raw plant foods. It's been amazing. And some people do need herbs to help them through certain things. If you're having symptoms or if you're dealing with deficiencies or what have you, you can have the herbs. It's not the end of the world, but I don't rely on them, and I don't do any detox stuff because I detox daily anyways. The body detoxes every day. It doesn't need us to force it into a detox. We will detox slowly and naturally when we stop putting all of the other stuff in. Just need to treat our bodies with respect, give it a lot of hydration, a lot of fiber, because the fiber is what's going to pull the toxins out of the body. So if you're worried about detox symptoms, eat more fiber, get more fiber in. That's going to pull the toxins out so you won't have as many detox symptoms. But again, a lot of detox symptoms aren't even detox symptoms. A lot of them are you're just not eating enough, and you're under eating, and you're feeling headachy and tired and joint pains and all of this detox symptoms, emotional stuff coming up. People say, oh, emotional detox. But if you're under eating, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're under eating, you're going to be emotional, because that's just what happens. It's a symptom of under eating. So make sure you're eating enough. That will really help if you're dealing with detox symptoms. What causes the bladder infection? I have it often. That could be stress, for one. That can cause some bladder infections. Hygiene obviously is part to play in that. But if you have an imbalance in your body, if you have an overgrowth of yeast, or if you're eating the wrong foods, if your immune system is low, it can't fight off those bacteria, so it will back up and you'll get an infection. So definitely look at increasing your hydration by increasing your raw food intake, and focus on dealing with the candida issues, taking probiotics, for example, if you want to. That helped me with my bladder infections. But I think the high hydration, the immune boosting, because I wasn't putting junk into my body, so I wasn't lowering my immune system. But also 70% of our immune system is in our gut bacteria. We need to feed them fiber so that they grow properly to give us that immune boosting property. So that should help with bladder infections, but it's just an overgrowth of bacteria due to an imbalance in the body. And over-acidic bodies as well can cause burning sensation as well. What are your favorite greens in smoothies? I actually don't do greens in my smoothies. Believe it or not, I'm not a green smoothie kind of girl. However, when I was in Costa Rica with Jack, Raw Tropical Living, you made those amazing chocolate, banana, plantain, kale smoothies. Remember those? Those were so good. That would be, if I was to do green smoothies, I would definitely do them like Jack does. He put like bananas and plantain, cacao. I can't remember what else you put in there, but it was like lots of kale, tons of kale. And just blended it up, and we had that for lunch. That was so good. So that, I would say kale if I was to do it. I normally don't do greens in my smoothies, but yeah. Do I take supplements? Sometimes I do the CBD when I'm having stress. So I have the CBD oil from Lava Love USA. I do take a B12 and a D3. Sometimes I'll take iodine and K2, sometimes. I also have a green powder, the Daily Green Boost. And that's pretty much it. Sometimes probiotics, but that's it. I don't do any other supplements. I don't take a multi. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. Just stick with the B12, the D, K2, which is necessary for bone and teeth formation. Iodine, maybe here and there. Daily Green Boost, that's about it. Yeah, let's see. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Oh, that was for someone else. Thank you for sharing with each other. That's awesome. I love it. You're so awesome and helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. How do you know if you're under eating? Great question. Track your calories. I know a lot of people are scared of tracking their calories. They're scared of getting into chronometer and adding everything up, and they're like, I'm gonna get obsessed with it. It's not something to obsess over. It's a tool. We don't know what we should be eating because we're taught to portion control. We're taught to eat animal products. We're taught to eat high fat. We're taught all of this stuff. So we don't even know what raw food diet looks like. We don't know how much is enough. We don't know how much low fat looks like. So get on Chronometer and start tracking your day. It's not something you need to do for the rest of your life. It's something that you do as school. So think of it as training wheels. Think of the raw diet as a bicycle, right? In order to learn, as a kid, you would put training wheels on it so it will help guide you, like it's going to help guide you until you can take the training wheels off and ride on your own. So you want to track just to get a good idea of how much you need to eat. You'll be surprised with how much you need to eat to get over 2,000 calories, and you'll be surprised at how much fat you're actually eating because we don't need that much fat. We only need a small amount. So definitely get on Chronometer and check and see how much you're eating. That will tell you if you're under eating. Another thing that if you don't even track, if you're hungry, you're under eating. If you feel like eating, eat. Definitely the easiest way to know. What other greens do you eat on other than romaine? Good question. I eat a lot of romaine, tons of romaine. I eat romaine every day. I think I've had romaine every single day, almost pretty much for 6 years. I eat romaine a lot. It's easiest, it's cheapest, it's got a lot of protein, it's got a lot of fiber, it's got a lot of hydration, it's great, it's awesome, it tastes good, it's crispy, I love it. If I do eat other greens, however, I will put black kale, which is one of my favorites, Lissatarian kale, otherwise known as dinosaur kale or black kale. That's my favorite kale. I'm not too much a fan of spinach. I don't really like a lot of spinach. If I do spinach, it's in like a spinach dip. I have a spinach dip recipe in the Plant-Based Dips and Dressings book. So good. I love that. That's how I like to eat my spinach. But in my salads, I like mixed greens. I like cabbage. I eat a lot of cabbage, red cabbage and green cabbage. There's even like there's a pink kind of like a Savoy cabbage that they have at the market that I like to get when that's in season. Sprouts, I eat a ton of sprouts, which I would consider greens as well. Mustard greens. How could I forget mustard greens? Mustard greens are my absolute favorite green of all. I don't get them often, but I think they are delicious because I'm a huge mustard fan, a huge spicy horseradish wasabi kind of fan. So mustard greens are definitely my favorite. I'll add them to salads. They go really good in raw sushi. Like use that on the nori sheet and then put all your veggies in and roll that up. It gives it a little bit of a wasabi edge because it's mustard greens, right? So that would probably be my favorite. Let's see, we got more questions here. Does the heat from the oven kill nutrition when I turn them into chips? I would say maybe it's definitely going to destroy some of the nutrition. Like vitamin C is very, very heat sensitive. There are other things in there that are heat sensitive. But I would rather see you eat cooked kale chips than animal products or junk food. So if it's going to get you off the chips and the animal products, then use your oven. It's not the end of the world. Use your oven. If it's going to get you away from the junk, the oil, the fats, the animal products, all that kind of stuff, if you're going to eat kale, baked or whatever, it's not the end of the world. Until you can invest in a dehydrator and make them in the dehydrator, you're going to have less damage from the dehydrator if you're going to make kale chips. I want to lose weight. Add more greens and lower your fat. Eat a lot of calories. I know that's an overall kind of just broad thing, but definitely want to lower your fat intake. Definitely want to make sure you eat enough and then add exercise. In order to get the proper calorie deficit, add exercise. That will naturally put you in a calorie deficit without you having to cut your calories. When you cut your calories, you cut your nutrition. Not cool. Kelp is best for iodine. Perfect. Yeah, take some kelp, do some nori sheets, that kind of thing. Let's see what else we got here. Is there a reason you use chia and not hemp seeds? Taste preference? Great question. I do use both. I mostly use chia seeds. I find them more higher on the omega-3, I believe. So I keep the chia seeds. I use chia seeds in my lunch dressing, and I'll use hemp seeds in my evening dressing if I'm gonna do hemp. We do use hemp. We don't exclusively use chia, so we make a combination. Just depends on what recipe I'm making. If I want it creamier, I'll use the hemp. If I'm focused on omega-3, I'll use the chia. Do you exercise 7 days a week? To be as toned and fit as you are, is rebounding the go-to for tighter skin? Tighter skin would definitely be all forms of exercise and making sure you don't undereat. If you undereat, your body's gonna eat itself and your skin's gonna be looser than if you eat enough and build those muscles to help tone your body. I'm not someone to go follow for fitness stuff. I'm very, very sporadic with my exercise. Nate and I were going to the gym for almost 2 months straight until they closed the gym, and we haven't gone since. We've gone on walks after our meals because we like the digestion help with that. But we haven't done any workouts since the gym closed. The gym's reopening on my birthday, so I think we'll probably head back to the gym after my birthday. But we really haven't been going. We've been so busy with everything else. And I'm not saying that it's okay to not exercise. We should be exercising. And I've been trying for years to get consistent with exercise. It's very difficult. So I understand. It's not easy. But when I do exercise, I like rebounding. But Nate and I have been doing a lot of weight training and that kind of thing. But like I'd mentioned in the plant-based bundle, which is only available until Monday at noon, there are so many workout plans in there. Nate and I were doing Tori Washington's plan, which is in the bundle. It's normally $129. It's in the bundle. You're getting $2,200 worth of fitness stuff, recipes, raw food stuff, pregnancy mindset, transition plans, whatever. You're getting $2,200 worth of stuff for $50. So Tori Washington's program, I think, is $129, but you're getting his program and like over 80 other things for $50, including my dips and dressings, Nate's Nice Cream book, a whole bunch of stuff. So if you're interested in the plant-based bundle, it's only available until Monday at noon Pacific. So you can head to the link in my bio, go check that out. If you're looking for fitness stuff, there is tons of fitness stuff in there. Again, Tori Washington, Nimai Delgado has a fitness plan in there. Anais has an ab workout thing that I'm gonna start soon if I can. But yeah, I don't exercise 7 days a week. When Nate and I were going, we were going about 6 days a week. We were walking to the gym, we're doing our workout and walking home, and then we would go on another walk. But again, you know, life happens. We're working on it. We're working on it. How many people you know have bought the plant-based bundle? Is it a safe source to buy from? Oh yeah, for sure. I would not be a part of the bundle if it was not safe. It is legit, 100% true legit. There are amazing people behind it. It's completely awesome. Like you would pay the $50 and then you get a link and you can download, I think there's 83 ebooks in there and courses and stuff, right? So you just click download and it downloads onto your computer and then you have it forever. It's so awesome, right? So you can go to that link. The link is in my bio. Click plant-based bundle. $50 gets you $2,200 worth of stuff. And the reason why we're doing this is to provide you guys with value, to provide you guys with content, with stuff that can help change your life. That's why we're doing this. So $50 gets you $2,200 worth of stuff. Link in my bio. There's awesome stuff in there, lots of fitness stuff. Don't have to worry about it being, it's not a scam at all, because I wouldn't be a part of it if it was. 100%. I'm not that kind of person. So when will Tales from the Tailgate videos be up? Ooh, good question. We haven't gotten to those. We have been so insanely busy with the Course Creator Academy, helping our students get results, growing their Instagram, that kind of thing. I've been doing so much work with Ted Carr, working on making the program even better. We're coming out with a 2.0 as well, so that's coming. We have the Digital Creator Inner Circle, which is a $20 a month thing that you can join. There's lots of information in there. You can connect with other vegan entrepreneurs in the Facebook group. That's $20 a month. And we do like weekly calls, like Ted calls me every Wednesday night and we talk about mindset, we talk about business, we talk about struggles that people are having, we talk about all kinds of cool stuff, and we record the call and we give it to you guys. In that group, $20 a month, you get those calls every week. Ted and I will be talking about business and mindset and all kinds of cool stuff. So that's in there. We've been doing that. I've been working here on Raw Food Romance, answering your questions, going live, doing things. And we just haven't had time to edit those videos. So hopefully once things die down a little bit, I'll be able to get to editing those because I want them to be top quality for you guys. But yeah, that's definitely on the major list of all the things that I have to do. Hopefully that's sooner than later, for sure. Please post to YouTube. I will. For posting to YouTube, I'm definitely going to have to sign off within the next like 10 or 15 minutes because I cannot save videos that are longer than 2 hours, and I know I've been talking forever. So I want to make sure that I can save this. So I'm going to sign off soon. Got the bundle. Awesome. I hope you enjoy all the content in the bundle. Thank you. Thank you for the support, because you're supporting everybody. You're also making good choices for yourself, which in turn, you remember, you're the leader. You are making a good example for other people by making these choices for yourself. So just got the bundle. You guys are awesome. Yeah, head on over. The sale is over Monday at noon, and you'll never be able to get this bundle again. This specific bundle with all of the people that are involved. Never again. James Aspie, Johnny Juicer, like even Noah has a little dog vegan recipe book in there. We're going to make some of those recipes for Koba. Because he's a vegan dog, so we want to give him other vegan dog recipes. So Johnny Juice has done all the research. PlantBased Ben's in there. He's got a weight loss transformation program. There's transition guides. There's a body love course, like finding your own self-love. There's mindfulness ebooks in there. There's compassion ebooks. Why vegan? Like all kinds of stuff. So if you're interested, you have less than 48 hours, I think. Yeah, tomorrow's the last full day, and then Monday it ends at noon, and then it's no longer available. So $50 gets you all of that good stuff. Head on over, link in my bio. It's the top link, Plant-Based Bundle. Tap that. Go there, check it out. You can scroll down and see everything that's in there, get a good idea of what's in there, and if it's something that resonates with you, grab it. Awesome, awesome. What made Nate decide to go back to work at the hemp farm? Ooh, okay, so no need to respond if it's personal. I don't know if I missed something. So Nate went to work at the hemp farm because he was helping our friends with their new hemp farm. I do the videography over there for them as well. So you can head over to Hempaholic LLC on Instagram if you're interested in checking out their stuff. He went to help our friends and also to make extra income because he needed to bring some stuff in for finances and stuff. But as of last month, he is actually now working for the Course Creator Academy doing the onboarding calls. He's the onboarding director for the Course Creator Academy. So if you want to sign up with the Academy, it's a 1-year program, but we're going to go into detail of, it's actually a 6-month program, sorry. We're going to go into detail of all of that in my December 3rd birthday live that Ted Carr and I are going to do on my birthday. We're going to go live and we're going to teach a lot of stuff that can help get you going if you're trying to do a vegan online business. But Nate is our onboarding director. So we have another one. Her name's Katie. She's over in the UK. I love her. But yeah, Nate and Katie are onboarding directors. So they're going to help you go through if this program's right for you, if it's something that you want to do, and you'll get to talk to Nate or Katie or Ted. I don't think he's going to be taking the calls anymore because he's going to be focusing on the students. But Nate has now taken over that position in the academy to help guide you guys through and onboard you into the academy. So that's what he's doing now. He's no longer at the farm. He does help out on Tuesdays. He'll go to Hempaholic and help out on Tuesdays at the farm because we love them and we want to help out as much as we can. But on the other days, he's here doing calls. He's actually on a call right now talking to potential students. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, so thank you guys. I'm going to sign off because if I go too long, then I'm not going to be able to save it for YouTube, and I'd love to put this on YouTube because there was so much good content. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for everything, for your support, your comments. Tag me in your recipes. If you make recipes from mine, please tag me and post them. I love to see what you guys create. Don't forget that also my ebooks, my link for my ebooks, payhip.com/rawfoodromance. All of the ebooks are 60% off right now for the Black Friday deals or whatever, and that's going to be ending on Cyber Monday. So that code is Black Friday 60. You can find the link in my bio. It's I think the third link, or second or third or fourth link. It says my ebooks. You can head over there, use code Black Friday 60 to get 60% off any of my ebooks. Again, that sale's ending. So is the plant-based bundle. Everything's ending on the end of November. All the sale. But my books will go back to 40%. But if you want that extra 20%, now's your chance to get that on my ebooks. And plant-based bundle's going forever at the end of November. So thank you again so much. I love you guys. Thank you for making compassionate choices. Thank you for treating your body with respect. Thank you for being a leader. Thank you for being an example. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much, and fruit on.